Welcome to NocBro Nation, guys. Jarrell here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing Fear the Walking Dead and Madison's return in regards to that AMC will have to revisit one of the biggest events and controversial stories, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That is, with Madison's return, how is she going to find out about Nick, and what is going to happen with Charlie? Today's video, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. We know that there's a mixture of fans out there who are fine with Charlie after the events of what happened, and some fans who definitely want her to die for what she did. But let's just go over everything. Let's go over who Charlie is, how the events came to be, and how AMC is going to possibly revisit this once we get Madison's return in the latter part of Season 7, or if they're going to get into this more probably in Season 8. So we met Charlie in Season 4 during kind of the early stages of the stadium being built, or the stadium, Madison coming to the stadium, building it up, and being introduced to the Vultures. So a little backstory on Charlie, and this comes from the Walking Dead fandom Wikipedia. So Charlie is a quiet and introverted young orphan and rarely engages with people who are not close to her. As a consequence of her depression, she has low self-esteem and very little desire for self-actualization, appearing apathetic and distant to those around her. She largely depends on her parental figures, to whom she displays extreme loyalty to the point of killing those who would hurt them. However, she does not enjoy killing and shows extreme remorse over the murder of Nick. Now, that line is absolutely true. So, guys, during Season 4, Charlie was 10 years old, okay? She's a kid. And when she was, during the fall, she witnessed her parents being killed and turned into walkers right in front of her, which absolutely traumatized her for life. And then, of course, when they found her and they came into the stadium and she was with Nick and she was with Madison, she was kind of, she was an introvert. She was kind of opening up. So you could see the actual relationship kind of starting to build a little bit more with Nick, which made his death even worse. But what was really crazy, though, is that, we know that Frank Delane, who played Nick Clark, decided to leave the show. So they had to come up with a way to write him off. Now, I'm not sure. I'm going to scour the internet. If you guys know of any interviews or any information that came out of there, why the writers chose for Charlie to kill Nick rather than him dying by, a walker bite, or having him die by maybe another person like Enos, the guy that Nick actually killed, which was the reason that Charlie killed Nick. See, Enos and his brother, I can't remember his name, part of the Vultures, they adopted Charlie after the fall, after she lost her parents. So Enos and his brother, the leader of the Vultures, were kind of father figures, kind of brother figures to Charlie. Again, she's only 10 years old. So when Nick killed Enos, she felt she had to take revenge on killing the one person who she became close to and who's a father figure and a brother to her, and she unfortunately killed Nick for it. Now, that's not an excuse to kill anybody, but you can kind of get the reasoning as to why she killed him. But when you see that scene, and it's still very hard to watch, even now, and I had to grab a clip for it, you see the remorse in her face immediately. This is the first time that we know that she picked up a gun and shot somebody, and you can see it in her eyes that she was like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Drops the gun and runs away, and leaves Nick to unfortunately pass away. But it kind of goes towards her psyche as to why she felt like she had to do it. She lost a brother, a father figure, and so she had to do it. But what we got really in Season 5 with the scene with Alicia and Charlie, you hear Charlie, they're in that basement where it's flooding with water and walkers are trying to come in, and you see how afraid Charlie is. She doesn't want to turn. She doesn't want to die and become a walker. She's been traumatized by what she saw when her parents died, so she doesn't want to do it. So she's begging Alicia to kill her because of what she did. And Alicia couldn't do it. We saw those amazing flashback scenes, showing Nick and Madison, all of them together as a family. And the pain that Alicia was going through after his death was, insane. And she decided to let her live. And now Charlie is, an integral part of our group.
The moment where Alicia decides not to kill Charlie is a moment of complete relief in Alicia's life. It is actually her finally choosing to let go of everything. This rage, this anger, this pain, this sorrow. It's this moment of forgiveness where they just come together as two people. It's a complete break, but it's a break of beauty in many ways.
She doesn't have a very big role, and I think that AMC, the writers, did a good job with not kind of putting Charlie in the forefront of the group. You know, she's still a kid. She's kind of more in the background, but they're not giving her a lot of true, you know, leadership stories. And I think they did that for a reason, because they probably knew fans would not be down seeing Charlie as kind of like rising up in the ranks of our groups, becoming a leader. I wouldn't want to see that. I've forgiven Charlie for what she did, so to speak, but I definitely wouldn't want to see her like rising as becoming a leader, and she's not going to be. And it is going to be interesting to see where her story goes, because I mean they haven't really done much with her. I mean she's had some really good scenes with Daniel. You know, Daniel is looking to her like a daughter, like, you know, with Ophelia. And that's really about it. There's really not much that she's doing. She had another scene, kind of a cool hero scene with Alicia, when Alicia was going after Dakota, that creepy guy's house. You know, I mean, she hasn't had much, guys. So getting on to how AMC is going to revisit this, because this is going to be huge. So as we know, Madison is alive. She survived. In the timeline of Fear the Walking Dead, Madison's been gone about a little over a year. So a year's worth of events have happened. But of course, as we know, Madison does not know about Nick. She does not know Nick is dead. She's probably assuming that Nick and Alicia are together and they're, you know, building their new world, surviving as she wanted them to. So yeah, how is that going? How are we going to broach that subject, guys? You know, when Madison comes back, as we've said before, we hope that we're not losing a Clark to gain a Clark. We're not going to be losing Alicia just so Madison can come back. But that will be interesting. I mean, seeing the look on Charlie's face, knowing that is Alicia's mom, and you're going to see the fear on her face if they do it this way. You're going to see the fear on her face, like, oh man, we're going to have a little talk. You know, how is Madison going to react? I mean, she's going to automatically probably know that whenever she meets up with Alicia and she doesn't see Nick there, one, she's going to probably think, okay, maybe Nick is somewhere else doing something. But when she's looking at Alicia and she either says, where's Nick? And you're going to see that look that Alicia will give her, Madison's going to know immediately that he died. So, but she's not going to know the events. She's not going to know the actual details of his death unless Charlie tells her. That's a big question. Will Alicia, I'm not Charlie tells her, if Alicia tells her, excuse me. That's the big question. Will Alicia tell Madison, her mom, the truth about what happened to Nick? Would Alicia be fearing for Charlie's life if she tells her mom the truth? Now, we already know, you know, if Alicia explains to Madison, hey, you know, I had a chance to kill her. I had a gun to her head. I easily could have pulled the trigger. I just didn't do it. Maybe Madison will be okay with that, and Madison will go have a heart-to-heart with her. I mean, Madison knows who Charlie is. I mean, she talked with her and she engaged with her at the stadium in season 4. So Madison exactly knows who she is, but that's going to be a very hard scene if they do it that way, if they're going to have Madison and Charlie have a sit-down heart-to-heart. And I think they should do it that way. I think they should have a scene with Madison and Charlie where maybe Alicia has already told Madison about the details of Nick's death, but Madison wants to hear Charlie say it herself. So she wants to, you know, she's going to want to hear Charlie say, you know, I was young. Not really I was young. I mean, she was young anyway, but just to hear the remorse in her, just to hear the remorse in Charlie. So guys, it's huge. I mean, this is going to be huge when Madison comes back. I don't know how they're going to do it. I hope they're not going to gloss over it. They're going to have to revisit it. This is one of the biggest events in Fear. You know, this is what turned off a lot of fans in season 4 that did not come back for the previous season. And I've seen some of the comments of some of you guys that have not come back to watch it. You're still checking up on it to see what's going on, but you're not watching it due to Nick being killed and also Madison being killed as well, supposedly killed. But yeah, it's gonna be a special thing, I think. I think it's gonna be something really interesting to watch. I think there's gonna be tears, And I know for Josh, you know, he wants Charlie to die. He's been saying it for so long. There's other fans out there that want her dead too. And you know, if she dies in the story, like, you know, helping fight, you know, with the group, and she dies by a walker bite, whatever. I mean, you know, as long as she's not like murdered by, you know, a group or like Strand or something like that. But, you know, if she dies by like a walker bite, saving someone's life, like saving Alicia's life, that would be perfect. Like if Charlie was to die, if they were going to write her off, it would be amazing if Charlie would basically save Alicia's life, because Alicia has saved Charlie's life many times. And, you know, Charlie's helped out with the group, but if she specifically saved Alicia, I think that would be something that they could kind of say, this line is from Black Summer, bygones, you know, let bygones be bygones. It's bygones. You know, you're cool. We're good. We're square. But I mean, in a way, you'll never be square of a death, you know, for the death of a loved one. But guys, yeah, I'm super excited to find out how this scene will go. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that Fear the Walking Dead most certainly has to revisit this, because it's a huge event and it was a controversial story? You know, we love Frank Delane so much for playing Nick. You know, we wish that he didn't want to leave, but he did. I actually would love to meet the guy. I would love to talk to him more about Nick, and just to get more of his thoughts on that. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, on this, and make sure if you enjoyed the video to smash that like button to help get the video out into the algorithm a little more, to bring some more viewers in, and subscribe if you are new. Hit the bell so you're always notified, and stay tuned for more Fear the Walking Dead news, theories, and information from us here in NocBro Nation. I'm out.